All right, today we're here with the Baofeng BF-888S again. We're going to look today at the battery release button. Let's zoom in here and have a look at it. There we go. It's got this nice, seems to me deeply molded arrow that shows which way the battery release is supposed to go. We're going to try to color that in so it's more obvious. Okay, our first step on this project. Got my little Q-tip, a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Today we're going to be using paint, so I'm going to be a little bit careful about making sure everything's cleaned up on this spot where we're going to be dropping paint in. Get any little grease that's found its way in there from my fingers. Anything that's left over from making the radio, solvents and stuff. All right, let's let that dry out and we'll get to it. All right, while that alcohol dries off on the radio, we'll start mixing up a little bit of paint. I've got Apple Barrel, Snow White. Got this at local Walmart, 50 cents, not expensive. The problem with this cheap paint is usually it's pretty thick. And we really don't want it to be thick for this project. We want it to flow nicely into that molding. So we're going to add a little bit of alcohol to thin it out and also reduce the surface tension of that paint so it spreads out nicely in there. I am using a stretched out safety pin to mix paint with. Now if you don't like alcohol, I know some people do use Windex to thin out this kind of paint. Has about the same alcohol content as just a bottle of 50% isopropyl. Now let's have a look here. Zoom in. I want a nice drop on the edge of that pin, and this is much too thin. I've added too much alcohol. I'm going to add a little bit more paint to it. We'll mix it up. I use the safety pin because it's got a nice fine point to it. And I can use the safety part as a handle. Okay, that's a nice drop there. Let's pick some up. Get the radio back in the picture here. See if we can drop that paint into that arrow. And keep it on camera so you all can see it. All right. Now we just need to clean up a little bit. A little bit of alcohol cleanup. Dry that off. Maybe a little more paint. It's a little bit of an experiment. See how it's all going to flow in there. pick up. Right, I did have to shut you all off for a minute because it's a little bit difficult for me to do that fine detail work when I'm reaching around the tripod in front of the camera. But there's our finished thing. We've now got that arrow nicely colored in white. We're going to let it dry. We'll see about putting a clear coat on it. Maybe not on this project. Okay, so this is now all dried up overnight. Looks pretty good. Just paint coat on this. If we want to, we can take our clear nail polish and put a nice top coat on it so it doesn't rub out of that slot there. Okay, so I got a little clear nail polish. We're ready to go. Just going to go over the paint, cover it nicely. Now we got to wait till that hardens, but that's the end of the project, I think.